Welcome to Summit Shasta Audio Tour. I am Ashley and I will be walking you through this tour. Starting with the first portrait to the left, we have young sick Bacchus painted in the year 1593 to 1594. A self-portrait by Michelangelo Merisi da Caravaggio. As you can see in the painting, the focus is immediately directed to Michelangelo, the subject of the painting, who has painted himself as Bacchus, the Roman god of wine, counterpart of Greek mythology's Dionysus. The positive space in which contains the subject evidently shows the focus on Bacchus. Primarily, his face and shoulder, as the light and use of color is mostly concentrated in those two areas. In the painting, there is barely balance, seeing as the way the subject is positioned is to the side. It is neither completely symmetrical or asymmetrical. The negative space or background is colored darkly, setting an overall gloomy mood throughout the piece. All these elements come together to portray a man who is ill yet powerful, being that the contrast in colors is deep and dark, while Bacchus looks pale and sickly. But despite that, still looks powerful and godly in the way his eyes looks at the viewer and the slight smirk he gives with this. The reason being that Michelangelo painted this piece in such a manner is for he was in Rome sick in the time due to malaria. While painting this piece, it seems like he had in mind and was aware that he was ill and slowly growing weaker, yet also recognized that he is a powerful man and must establish dominance and superiority, therefore painting himself as the Roman god Bacchus. Looking to the right, you can see Pablo Picasso's Portrait of a Woman, painted in 1955. The piece was drawn in an abstract manner with no use of colors, prioritizing value in shading and lighting. The focus of this piece is solely on the woman, mainly her face, as it is drawn in a way that quickly grabs your eyes to look towards it, with pen strokes less rough around the area of the face aside from the shading on the woman's cheeks. It seems to look as if her face holds no reaction as she stares off slightly to the left. Since she is facing the side with one eye higher than the other, as well as a cheek higher than the other, the balance shows asymmetry. The mood of the piece gives a sense of confusion and lostness due to the lack of color in the different directions of the pen strokes throughout the whole piece. The subject of this portrait is Picasso's second wife, Jacqueline Roquette. It was said that he had an obsession with her during their marriage, yet still took on other lovers. This perhaps is why in the piece, the subject blankly stares off to space. At first glance, it may seem that these two pieces by two very different artists are not in the least bit similar. With the use of various art styles from Michelangelo's Baroque art style to Picasso's abstract art style. The first difference being the use of color, in which Caravaggio uses different colors to create a mood and overall image, while Picasso uses no color to make it clear that the mood doesn't need to be captured by color, but only to see the piece and understand it as black and white. Clearly, the negative spaces in both art pieces were used in different manners. Michelangelo painting the negative space with a dark color to set a tone and rhythm, and Picasso leaving the negative space as it is, focusing the tone and rhythm in all the focus areas. The two art pieces also show a difference in realism in terms of Michelangelo's young sick Bacchus looking realistic, while Picasso's piece was drawn in an abstract manner. But despite having key differences, the two pieces also have a few significant similarities. One being that both pieces expresses distinct moods that showcase drama, affecting the overall rhythm of the pieces. Bacchus' illness and Jacqueline's confusion or lostness. Another being that the emphasis is on one point, being the woman in Picasso's Portrait of a Woman and Bacchus in Michelangelo's young sick Bacchus. Those are all the key similarities and differences of the two pieces. In listening, I hope you were able to learn more than you thought you would, and I hope that these art pieces would inspire your creativity as well as inspire you in life to aspire and strive for your ideals. Once again, I am Ashley. Thank you for listening. Till next time.